The countdown is on to Halloween. This morning we're getting a look at one local spot that some consider haunted. ABC 15's Amanda Kinzith is live this morning at Brentwood Restaurant and Wine Bistro in Little River, where staff have been busy with those ghost tours they put on, right?
Oh yeah, the ghost tours are a great thing because this building is historically haunted. I mean, it's been around for a long time and there's been a lot of things to happen here, right?
Yes, absolutely. Brentwood Restaurant, there's always things happening, usually during the night, and we find out in the morning. But even it happens also during the service. We get customers that tell us about their own little experience dining here, where you have glassware that falls, silverware that falls on the ground, or voices. We have orbs that show up, some pictures, even on the cameras that we have at the restaurant.
Yeah, you were actually showing me that upstairs earlier. Through the camera, you can see the little white.
Light going around.
Flying around.
This area is actually pretty active. This bar area. And we do the ghost dinner, in this dining room.
Right over here. And then you're talking about things falling. There's a reason I'm standing way over here. Tell me about this mirror.
Yeah, well, one afternoon I came to work and the mirror was, but not this mirror, but the mirror we had before was just on the floor. And I went on my camera system, and actually you could see a shadow going underneath the mirror, and then the mirror just falling, crashing. And so I replaced the mirror, but this was one of the incidents. But I have everything now bolted to the wall, so it doesn't fall anymore.
Everything's bolted, yeah, but you still, you said like glassware will be flying around and stuff like that.
Yeah, and we have customers that tell us, and they're having dinner, and next thing you know, there's a salt and pepper shaker that just fall off the table, just like that. So it's just, it's nothing, I don't think it's anything bad, but it's different. It's different.
Well, you mentioned to me earlier that you would never spend the night here. You've had paranormal investigators spend the night here. You said you would never do that.
No, we had paranormal that came investigate the place, and they say, "Oh, well, you want to come with us?" And I'm like, "No, thank you. I'll just go to bed."
Is this the earliest that you've been here? Because we kind of made you get here in the middle of the night.
That is the earliest, and I was not too comfortable, coming at 4 o'clock in the morning. But I'm glad that I'm not by myself, so that's the main thing.
We're here too, and we brought lights, and we're going to give everybody kind of a little walkthrough. But this ghost tour you're going to do every day for the remainder of the week.
Yes, so Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday this week we have it's a ghost dinner and tour, and it's a lot of fun. We got a really good feedback from people that we've been doing this for almost a year now, and people are having a good time, good food, and the stories. We have Mike, who's our professional storyteller, and they host the event and they tell all the stories about the Brentwood.
Very cool. Well, and I like too that some of the people that come here, they tell you stories like, "Hey, look at this picture that I took," or "This thing happened to me." So we'll see what happens to us this morning. Crystal,
Amanda, and cameraman Keith, I hope you can keep him safe out there. At least you're all not alone. But we want to talk about the countdown being on to Halloween. There are a lot of local spots that some consider to be haunted, and this morning we're getting a kind of inside look at one of them. ABC 15's Amanda Kinzith is live at Brentwood Restaurant and Wine Bistro in Little River, where staff have been busy during ghost tours they hold there, right?
That's right. Yeah, you guys started offering these ghost tours, and we're going to give you on a little mini tour this morning. We're kind of taking you through. You actually, when you got this place, you had no idea that it was haunted. Historically haunted.
We bought the restaurant 9 years ago, and we had no idea. It wasn't exactly disclosed in the paper. And we find out over the course of months and years, that all those things was happening, and that it was well known in the community that the Brentwood Restaurant was haunted. So it was a bit of a surprise, and I personally didn't know if it was a good thing to, feature it. But there's interest, and that's why we started to do the ghost dinner and tour. Now very popular. Right.
Well, let's take a walk this way because the staircase over here is somewhere where things happen, apparently.
Yes. So there's a lot of stories throughout the restaurant, but there's said to be a ghost, and it's black shadow, man. That come from the bathroom and that goes through the staircase and then end up in the bar upstairs. And there's a picture, actually it's on our website, of that shadow that was taken by the paranormal investigation. You know, after we find out not that long ago, there's a secret door.
Yeah, let's go up
in the
here.
staircase that leads to another dining room. So there's a total of 5 different dining rooms, you know, at the Brentwood, and it's great for private event. But this is a portrait, and we're not even sure who that person is. But we find that portrait in the attic, which I don't recommend. I would never go in the attic. But
Ooh,
yeah.
there's an attic.
But so we didn't know about this, but behind the portrait there's a secret passage, and it leads to another dining room.
That is so cool. Secret doors. And speaking about portraits, you were telling me you took down a portrait downstairs, and something happened.
Well, that was our first experience was the ghost. We wanted to take down the portrait in the bathroom because it's just an old portrait. And when we did that, the second we did that, we heard some noise. We went upstairs, and there was just a glass that got smashed on the floor. But it was like 10 feet from the bar, so we couldn't really explain how it fell and then landed 10 feet, from the bar. So it was a mystery. But we just put back the portrait just in case.
Yeah, you know what? We'll just leave that right where it is, right, Crystal?
Now, don't tell me you're spooked in there, Amanda. I know you're brave, you and cameraman Keith. And keep it here. We're going to check in with Amanda in our next half hour as well. Well, Halloween is just a week away, and business is already booming for some local spots as people want to get in that spooky spirit. ABC 15's Amanda Kinseth is live at Brentwood Restaurant and Wine Bistro in Little River, talking about the ghost tours there and some of the haunted history, huh?
It does, absolutely. A haunted history that you guys didn't even know when you got the place and you came in here and you start hearing all these stories, experiencing these things on your own. I feel like for you, you're like, if there's something there, I don't want to see it even. Tell me about what happened over here. You were in the room?
Yeah, so this was my first experience with the ghost. And it was just maybe 3 months after we had purchased the restaurant, so that's 9 years ago. And I'm washing my hand, and it was a Friday night, and everybody's gone, and I hear this voice, and it was a very loud voice. It was coming right from behind the door, and when I heard that, I froze. I couldn't do anything. I just stood there, and eventually I came out, but it was just a really amazing experience. And I find out a few years later that it was the voice of the original owner, which is Essie McCrosley, and she's actually buried in the local cemetery. But she was the original owner, and she was kind of asking me to get out of the bathroom. So
get out of there. Oh my gosh. Well, taking a look around here, you've got these windows, and if you've ever looked at this house from out front, you said people have seen faces in the window?
There's a story about people that seen faces of an old lady, through the window. And that's the one thing I'll never do when I drive out of the parking lot and look back at the windows. Because if I see a face, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know if I can just come up the next day like nothing happened.
If you could come back, I love that. You don't even look. And so things like that happen. You said even during these ghost tours that people go through, sometimes things will happen.
Yes. So the orbs are always throughout the restaurant, and they appear on pictures, but also on the camera. And we had some noise that was in the kitchen. The last tour that we had, they would say there was noise in the kitchen, but there was nobody in the kitchen. So it was kind of strange.
Yeah, well, and you've even had paranormal investigators here, and I want to point out they spent the night and saw all kinds of stuff, and you said, "Nuh-uh, nope, I'm not spending the night there."
I spend enough time at the restaurant as it is.
Back to you.
That's true. And he met us there early this morning and had to arrive by himself. That was probably pretty spooky. So you can go check out those ghost tours all week long.